Greetings, I'm Ron Clement, and this is In the Studio. It's springtime in Davis. That means glorious weather and lots of interesting, exciting, and entertaining events in our community. An excellent example of collaboration between town and gown is the 13th annual UCDavis Film Festival. The film festival features short films by UCD students and will be presented at the Varsity Theater downtown on May 22nd and 23rd. To get things started with our show, we have an excerpt from one of the award-winning films from last year's festival. My guests are Jessica Phillips and Kathleen Stilson. Jessica is executive producer. Kathleen is technical director of the festival. Jessica, tell me, what's an executive producer?
Well, it's definitely a lot of work. Basically what I do is we right now have a team of 12 people. So I manage everybody. We promote to UCDavis students. And what I do is I manage sponsors. I work with faculty members who oversee our department. And basically, we just work together as a team and really try to promote the festival and make it the best that it can be. Great.
And Kathleen, what's the technical director do?
Well, I help out with all the production, but mostly my job is now going through submissions. I format them so that we can have the film festival, and during the event, make sure that it can be seen on the beautiful screen at the Varsity. So there's a lot of technical things that go along with that. But it's mostly just making sure that we get enough submissions from the entire UCDavis campus and make sure that everyone's aware of the quality of talent that we have at Davis.
Oh, and is the Varsity all digital?
Yes.
So we're not talking about film, we're talking about thumb drives and digital projection. Great.
Yeah. Blu-ray discs and all that.
All right. Oh, Jessica, you're a student?
Yes, I am. Right now I'm a senior. I just finished my major in communications, and I got interested in the festival. Well, last year, Kathleen and I, we interviewed, and I think it was just something that I really wanted to see come to life. It's our 13th annual year, and this year we've done so much more than, I don't know, I feel like we've definitely done a lot for this year, and we're really excited to see it come to life.
That's really cool.
Right.
Kathleen, you're a student as well?
Right, I'm a third year. I'm doing a double English and technocultural studies major, which is kind of fancy. But yeah, so I'm a student, I have a job, I have a couple of internships, and I have the festival. And the festival's just been so much more this year, and we're going to make it an incredible event, absolutely incredible. And Jesse and I are super excited.
Do you get academic credit for your participation?
Yeah, we get internship credit, yeah.
Great, that's very cool. And Jessica, you mentioned 13th year, 13 years now, and it's the 13th year of the century, or the decade, didn't it? So what's the history here? How did this start?
The Varsity started quite a while ago. It really started with the departments at Davis. It started with the theater and dance department, and then over the years, more of the departments started to jump on board. So we have theater and dance, art studio, technocultural studies, and design. So that's a big number of departments that are working with us, right? But this year is a little different in that we are now a registered student organization. Right. So we're technically overseeing our own production of the Varsity and of the festival itself. So we get help from the faculty members. They're a big support, but overall it's our team who are doing the most work.
Yeah, well, along with that comes, this is the first year we've ever had sponsorships. So this year we've been working really hard to get local organizations. We've done fundraisers with restaurants near campus.
Can you name some of the sponsors?
Yeah, so our first fundraiser was with Raj's Tandoor off of 3rd right there, and we have had one at Pho King 4. And we have Yolo Berry, we have the Vinny Wine Bar. On the night of the festival, we're going to be doing, or they're going to be having a
sort of a pre-opening. It's sort of like a pre-party for the festival guests. So, Jeff is the owner. We've been talking over the span of a couple months already. And basically, what we're going to do is allow festival guests to come before the festival opens and get a percentage off of wine and beer and enjoy themselves. So that's one of our biggest sponsors as well. We also have,
may anyone come to the pre-event? Let's see, it starts, the actual screenings are at 8:30 on the 22nd and 23rd.
Right.
As of now, the people who should be coming to the wine bar are people who have tickets.
Okay.
So we're really promoting people to come. We want community members, we want students, we want people from Sacramento and Woodland. It's going to be such a great event, so I think this will really bring people together.
How many tickets are available?
Right now, there's 264 seats in the Varsity. So we're going to have twice that because it's 2 nights. So quite a good number.
May someone subscribe both nights, or do you have to buy individually for each evening?
So each night we have different films, and the second night is our awards night. So it's $7 for just the first night and $10 for the 2-day pass. And we really encourage people to go both nights because it's different films, and even more happens on the second night.
And on the second night, you will see, we're going to have our award ceremony at the end.
Right.
So best film and all the different categories.
Well, that should be fun.
Yeah. And in addition to that, the audience members can also have a little treat. If they do come, they can enter a raffle, which we'll have at the Varsity doors. And the raffle will basically be giving away the donations and the things that we've gotten from our sponsors over the past maybe 6 months.
Right.
So it's going to be very exciting.
Well, Kathleen, tell us about, where do these films come from?
Well, they come from the students. So it's kind of cool to see who submits and who doesn't. Mostly it's like the technocultural studies and the dramatic art majors, but sometimes you'll get someone from bio-sci or from like psychology or something, and they just do something really incredible. Like the worm one we saw, like it doesn't necessarily have to be a certain type of film. And what's really great about the department is that we don't have categories before we do submissions. So it really encourages people to submit all types of creative media. And we see a wide array of film and media when we get submissions.
Are there technical requirements, the length, the format?
Yes.
Right.
So all short films.
All short films. Really the only requirements are that it's under 8 minutes and that there's no copyrighted music. So anything under the sun after that you can think of is really what's encouraged. We had a beautiful claymation one that was done last year, and just to see some of the talent that people can actually produce from such a Davis, which is not really known for film, and it's really incredible. And it comes from everywhere and all over the place. So we really go around campus when we encourage submissions. We go to all the different classes. We go to all the different listservs to submit, and this year is I'm doing something special where for people that aren't familiar with film and formatting and knowing how to submit, I am doing workshops so people can come and kind of learn how to export their video and know where to put it that aren't as tech savvy but still have really creative pieces that they should share.
Does a student need their own camera? Can they go somewhere and check out a camera?
Most people have their own, yeah.
There are resources on campus where they're able to check out cameras. I do know that.
I mean, can you shoot it with a smartphone, or do you really need something of
higher
capability?
It can be anything, honestly.
Yeah.
As long as you can get it in the right format, you can be shooting it on your iPhone.
Well, what's the right format? Under 8 minutes, but
yeah.
I mean, 480p, you know, 1080i?
It's 1080p, yeah, and there's like size requirements for the film festival itself because, I mean, it's a movie screen, so I think it's like, it's 1920 by 1080 if we're going to get specific.
Okay, no, that's
good. But it's really cool, and the submission workshops are primarily so that people that don't understand those requirements are able to really know what's really going on. And like you say, like format, there are all different type of formats, all different types of files, and as my job as technical director is to make sure that all of them kind of fit. But the funny thing is, like, I mean, people do film on all different types of things like tape and their smartphones and all the fancy Canon photos and everything. But I know my documentary, like I used my smartphone for half of the film. And like, I mean, I had a nice camera as well, but I mean, you can really do anything like for that. And there are also like resources on campus if you want to.
Well, just how many films would you expect would be submitted?
We're shooting for 80 to 100, and our submission deadline is actually next week. Right now,
specific date?
The 26th, April 26th, and we're shooting for that range, 80 to 100. I think last year we had maybe 50 to 60.
Right. Yeah.
But the only difference in this year is that we've really been marketing and promoting ourselves since the beginning of the year. So I think a lot more people are aware, and that's going to really amp up our submission numbers.
Right.
So you have 80 to 100. How many actually end up in the show?
Well, it actually depends right now. I mean, we have to go through a reviewing process, and that's the faculty members. They're the judges, and they're going to review all of the films in probably a span of 3 to 4 hours. And what it normally ends up to be is 15 films per night. So about 30 get chosen out of the amount that are submitted. So it is selective, but you know, it's a fun outlet for students to be able to
When
show
you
their
mentioned
films.
Faculty,
Right.
somewhat of a juried competition.
Yeah.
Right.
Do they have criteria? I mean, is this a star chamber? Pretty much.
They do have criteria, yes. The only thing that's different about the festival is that we don't put out what categories we're going to have for the awards. Say we put out Best Documentary. We don't want someone to shoot for that category because we want people to have the creative outlet to be able to submit whatever they want.
Right.
Whereas someone who is maybe doing a claymation maybe wouldn't submit their film because, you know, the categories we have are Best Film, Best Documentary, Best Commercial, you know, and they would feel restricted. So basically what we do as a team and what the faculty members also promote is, you know, submit whatever you want, and we'll be able to judge and make our own categories in the end so that everyone will have something to show.
Who are some of the faculty involved in this effort?
So we have our publicity person is Janice Bisgard, and she's incredible. She's been helping every step of the way that we've been doing this, and like especially this year, like Jesse and I had such a strong vision for what we wanted the film festival to be and what it can be, and she's we've made her job a lot harder this year, but I know she's been extremely enthusiastic the entire way. And so like getting it out just like to campus and to the public in general, she's our advisor for that. And then we have John
and Julie, they're both professors at Davis. Julie is a technocultural studies professor, and John is in theater and dance. We also have our main advisor, Sarah Anderson. She's actually out for spring quarter, but she's been also a big part of the festival as well.
Right.
And they've all been an amazing help to us, really supportive, and I couldn't ask for better faculty members to work with.
Definitely.
Were they responsible for the two of you getting into your roles?
Yeah, Sarah Anderson was who interviewed us, and put us into our places. And
so that was kind of a competition too?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely
we
was.
went through an interview process, so I know, I mean, there is a executive producer, 2 assistant producers, the technical director, assistant technical director, and then volunteers, which also get units of credit. So, I mean, we've expanded our team though over the past couple quarters. We've taken on more people to fill more roles that will help us, grow the festival into what it is today.
Right.
Oh, and we have, where do folks buy tickets?
Well, for students, we are on the quad a couple of times throughout the next month. And I know on May 15th, the Varsity box office should be open. And I was looking online just to see if you could find them online. And I know if there's like a Davis Events thing, you just like look on online, Davis Events, and I think you can buy them online. But it's not like a specific website that you can buy them online.
So
the Varsity box office.
The Varsity, go to the Varsity. In the next week, they'll be there.
And that's between E and F streets on 2nd Street downtown.
Right.
Yes, right next to the coffee shop, Mishka's. So yeah, they will be there. Again, $7 for one day and $10 for both. And if students need to buy, it's also cash only, I think. But for students, we're going to be on the quad at Davis, so they'll be able to buy their tickets there as well.
If I drop by on the quad, could I buy my tickets
Definitely,
there
of
as
course.
well, even though I'm not a student?
Definitely.
I was once a student. Made a film, too. A long time ago. It was all analog then, of course.
Very cool.
Will the filmmakers be present during the screenings?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So this year we're making it more of a classy red carpet kind of event. So we're encouraging all the filmmakers to come and dress up, and we're going to have like a photo shoot kind of thing with Aggie TV there. And it's going to be a real like movie festival event that you would want to see in like Hollywood.
And we're also thinking
I should get my tux out, right?
Yes, you should. I mean, we recommend it, but obviously people don't have to wear, super fancy clothes. But
we'll be dressed up.
It's gonna be great. But I think the filmmakers who do submit, I think we will at the end have a panel where festival goers who are coming out may want to talk to them about their films, how they created them, what their thought process was. So we definitely want to give the audience that chance as well. And we're going to have lots of things to do for everybody there. I think it's going to be very fun.
We've even been having events this year. We've been doing free movie nights on campus where we have people from last year's and like previous year's submissions come and talk about their films that they did. So we just really want to encourage people understanding that film is a media that anybody can participate, and we really encourage everyone to try. And there's so many creative outlets, and film is such a broad nature of art now, like that anybody can do it and anybody should. So.
Well, that's right. I mean, you can get a camera for about $100 and make an HD movie.
You can use your phone.
That's true.
Your phone is, if you have an iPhone or a smartphone, the cameras are so beautiful on those now.
Don't buy stock in cameras or watches anymore. All you need is a smartphone. So, but you mentioned some prior filmmakers who've come back, and what's happened? I mean, there have been a lot of films made over the last 13 years, and a lot of filmmakers. Do we have some stories of those folks?
There's a couple of TCS students that are pretty eccentric.
Technical and cultural studies?
Technocultural, yeah. So it's kind of a twist of the tongue there. But yeah, they come back and they submit more, of course. Usually they submit like their freshman or sophomore year will repeat every year. I know that one of the people, they won Best Editing last year, and they started filming like 3 weeks before the submission date. And they got their entire film done, they edited it like crazy, and submitted it on time. And so we just get a wide array of people, and everybody that like knows about it from the get-go like is preparing their films for the festival.
Right.
So it's really cool to see who comes back and what they do.
And in addition,
and how they get better too.
After being shown at the Varsity, on the big screen, people who have won awards and people who have shown their films at the Varsity, that's great for their resume and for going on after, post-graduating.
Right.
And I know a couple students who were shown at the Varsity who went on to go to film school in LA. So, it's a great opportunity for people. And I think that because it is our 13th year, we are able to really, you know, tell people to come because of that
reputation.
Right. Yeah, our reputation.
Yeah, like there are a few film festivals on campus, but ours, I feel, is really special because we do have the faculty. And the faculty really gives us the credibility to say, like, this film is accredited by the department. And
by the university.
By the university. Yeah. And we get some really exceptional talent, and it's great for them to say, like, yeah, I got an award in Best Editing my junior year in college. And people definitely put that on their resume and appreciate
to say
it.
My film was shown on the big screen in a theater,
right,
in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And that's
well,
exciting.
It's wonderful. I mean, you come off campus into the community. You use the Varsity Theater, which is an incredible community resource, but one generally doesn't think of it as being connected to the university, except students come watch movies.
It's great, though.
So
I really, you know, the part of the film festival that I love as well is that we're able to really outreach to the community. We've gone and talked to so many people who are now sponsoring us. These are people who have businesses in Davis. We're going to the farmers market. We've been talking to so many community members, and I think what's great is that we're actually getting a hold not only at the university but in Davis itself. So I think, you know, getting not only students to the varsity but community members is, you know, just great.
It's a really significant event for people to participate in because it's, I mean, you're promoting the university is so a part of the Davis community, and for us to like showcase the talent that we have and for everyone to enjoy it and able to appreciate it is just, this is what we produce, and like, here you go. You know, it's just so exciting to see how the community and the students are able to get involved like that. And they do all the time. Like, the students are the community as well.
Absolutely. We wouldn't have a community here without the university. Now, after the festival, will these films be available online or elsewhere?
Yes, definitely. All of the films will be available online, the Theater and Dance website. All you have to do is go under UCDavis Film Festival, click the year, and they'll have all of it uploaded. So you can watch at your leisure.
And that's this year's films as well as prior years?
Yes,
are they all up there?
Prior years are also up there as well.
Oh, very
so
good.
if, you know, anybody wants to check out what type of films are being shown at the varsity, they can check out the website.
So how many years have you been involved now, Jessica?
For me, it's only been a year. So they hired us last spring, and for me, as the executive producer, I started working on the festival this summer, right after last spring. So I've been working on this for almost a full year, and it's been really rewarding overall. I think so. It's been really fun. I've met a lot of different people, and it's really made me learn a lot, not only about myself, but about the process of producing something this large.
Right.
Well, how about you, Kathleen? Is this your first year of formal involvement?
Yeah, definitely. I remember I was like a sophomore. Well, I was a sophomore last year, and I was just starting to get into the whole technical business, and I got a email saying, hey, we're looking for a technical director, and I was like, you know, I know some stuff about film, and I had my interview, and I got the job, and I remember being, this is absolutely incredible,
ecstatic.
Like we can do so much with this. And then we had our first meeting, I remember at the end of last year, with like the old staff and the new staff, and just immediately Jesse and I knew exactly what we wanted, where we wanted to go with this, and how we were going to make it a huge event this
While
year.
we were talking in the group, it was me like blurting out ideas and being super excited, and the only person who was like blurting them back at me was Kathleen, and I was like, I like her. I'm gonna work well with her.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like everybody else around the table was like, all right, so moving on.
They're a little intense.
Well, Kathleen, are you going to do this again next year? What do you think?
It's possibly, yeah. I mean, it's definitely been great, and I know that I can build off the reputation that we make this year. So it's definitely possible. I mean, it would be cool to see if somebody else wants to like step up to the plate. I may become like executive producer next year rather than technical director. I haven't officially decided. But I think I definitely will be a part of it in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, very good.
We will be holding interviews and that type of thing pretty soon, probably in a month actually.
Yeah.
Immediately after the festival.
Oh, very good. So, are there ways for other people in the community to get involved other than as patrons coming and visiting? Are there any other roles for community folk, if you will?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I definitely think that the community would be able to get involved. I think if anybody was interested in volunteering for us, we would love to have community members be a part of our team. You know, we are all students, but to have people maybe at opening night and the second night helping us and, you know, integrating both students and community would be really great.
Well, how did you get the Varsity Theater?
Well, the Varsity was booked way back when, probably.
So anyone can do that? I mean, if there's a window there, you can go book the Varsity?
No, it's a very special, thing that the film festival has. So basically, the departments, you know, 13 years ago, made a pact with the Varsity, and they basically made an agreement that. I know that they're paying them a certain amount of money, which is good for us because we get the benefit of staying at the Varsity without having to get the funds ourselves, which is, I think, some of the issues that other festivals have. So it's definitely a department thing. They're funding for us, and it's been pretty easy. I mean, they're continuing it, so I'm assuming that they're happy with the result.
Right.
Well, when I first came to Davis in 1967, the Varsity was one screen. It was the only theater between here and Woodland and between here and West Sacramento, and that's where we students went to watch movies. It's where I saw The Graduate.
Wow.
That was probably 68, I think. So
that's awesome.
And it's wonderful the way the city's reconditioned it. Now they're private operators handling.
Yeah, it's a beautiful theater.
It really is.
It's so beautiful.
It's quite beautiful. So we're just about out of time. Is there any final words either one of you would like to share with our audience?
You know, I think all I would have to say is that I hope that after watching this, you know, people come to the festival. We've been working so hard all year, and we're very excited to see how it's going to come to life. And you know, it's just so great to have so many sponsors and faculty members behind us. So I think we really have a powerful year and a powerful team.
Yeah, such a good team.
You know, the festival is going to be a hit, and I hope everybody wants to come.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Any final word, Kathleen?
It's going to be absolutely amazingly fun.
We're just so excited.
We're so excited, and we've worked obscenely hard this year, both for submissions and for patrons to come, and it's going to be an event that you haven't seen in Davis yet, and I hope it will be a continuing tradition every year.
Well, great. Kathleen, Jessica, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
I wish you the best of luck, both with the festival this year and with your future endeavors. And to all of our viewers, please buy your tickets. You can do that on campus, downtown at the Varsity box office. I think you'll have a wonderful time, see some incredibly creative films by some aspiring local filmmakers. Yeah. Until next time, this is Ron Clement. Thank you for watching in the studio.